Britain's rental market is at breaking point.
Give me home, please.
With not enough homes to go round, soaring rents,
Oh my God.
squalid, overcrowded conditions,
Little swines.
spiralling property fraud,
They're crooks, they're running a scam.
When am I going to get my money?
bedsits to mansions,
I just want the house back. I want her gone.
squats to drug farms.
It's a frigging full room.
Youth sharps in the pot, heroin.
This is Nightmare Tenants Slum Landlords. One in 3 landlords rents out space in their own homes. It may bring in some extra money, but when things go wrong, it's all the more personal.
I believe the landlords, who are both pensioners, purchased this property in the mid-90s. They moved out here from Essex, and they converted the property into 4 flats, and they live in one of the flats where the tenant actually lives above them.
Paul Champlainer of Landlord Action is on his way to help live-in landlords John and Jackie McHiggins. Their tenant, Katie, hasn't paid rent for over 2 months. She now owes them more than £1,000.
Our landlords are really becoming stressed with this tenant. So today is when everything starts, and the first start of the process, see if I can engage and speak with the tenant to see what her intentions are. Now, the problem you've got, you guys, you can hear everything she does.
Yeah.
She's not working, you see things and whatever. If you're not going out, you're not busy yourself, it plays on your mind.
Yeah.
So anything she does is magnified. How's it really been in your health, though?
It's been terrible. My nerves are shredded.
Right, so don't get upset. I will get them out, don't worry, I promise you.
Please, Paul, because she's making my life a misery.
I
We've
know.
never had anybody like her before.
No, this is the downside of being a landlord.
I know.
Especially being a landlord and you live in the same building. So you leave the talking to me, right? So I'll speak to her now, see if I can engage with her.
I doubt she'll open the door, she never does.
Katie has called the police about the elderly couple several times, accusing them of harassment, but each time they found no evidence to support her claims.
I just wanted to sell up and go.
She had enough being a
I've had
landlady.
enough. I said, I don't want this anymore. I said, I've never come across anybody like her in my life. I just want a peaceful life. We'll sell up, we'll go.
Hi, Katie. Are you all right? Yeah, can you open the door? I've got a letter for you. You're not opening the door? Okay, well, I'm here on behalf of the landlords, and we're serving some notices for eviction relating to non-payment of rent. Hi. So this is the notice for the rent arrears and for the eviction notice.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to have a chat about the rent arrears? She doesn't want to be filmed here, but she's happy to meet me on the park bench around the corner. Let's go walk down the road. What I'm trying to do is try and negotiate. We have 2 options, which she said, which is one, we can do a deal and pay her to leave. She would accept £1,000, or she can string it out of court. This tenant was not going to go quietly. I believe that she was trying to extract as much money as possible from an elderly couple. So, Jacqueline, would you do a deal if I can get £1,000 and she gives us vacant possession?
We will do it.
You'd bite my hand off, wouldn't you?
I would. It goes against the grain because she owes us rent, but, you know, to get rid of her, Paul, I would do anything because my nerves are in
No, you don't
shattered.
need that.
Shattered.
The problem is I'm quite cynical and I don't want us to be played.
I know you don't need that. The problem is I'm quite cynical and I don't want us to be played.
The problem is I'm quite cynical and I don't want us to be played. The problem is I'm quite cynical and I don't want us to be played.
I just wanted her out of my life. I didn't care, you know, just give her the bloody money. I just want, sorry, but that's how I felt. I was so angry. I just wanted her to go.
The couple are facing a dilemma. They are desperate to get their tenant out quickly. But if they do hand over the £1,000, there's a risk she reneges on the deal, leaving them even worse off.
My worry is that if we pay £1,000 to her and she decides not to leave, then we're back to square one and then we're in for a long court case of 4 or 5 months.
With the decline of Britain's seaside resorts, some have become a magnet for vulnerable and cash-strapped tenants. Letting agent John Bartram manages 400 properties on behalf of landlords in and around Blackpool.
I'm out on the road most of the day, and if I'm out there, I know what's happening.
What we see as an agent is the darker side of life, whether it's Blackpool, whether it's other cities, towns, seaside towns. A lot of the people get caught into the traps of drug and alcohol issues.
Today, John is heading to a block of 11 flats where one tenant is causing problems.
From day one of him moving in, we have had issues. Drug dealing, people using it as a drugs den. Even his social workers would not visit the property. Last time I laid the law down to him, one of his friends came and gave me a mouthful.
Although it's unclear who exactly is dealing drugs in the bedsit, there has been a series of complaints against the tenant, who has a history of drug addiction.
Oh, I feel sympathy for them, yes, but I'm not having them causing antisocial behaviour for other residents in the street, in the block, in the vicinity.
And that's one of the reasons we're taking the notice today to terminate his tenancy.
Are you okay?
John spots Ibrahim, another tenant who lives directly above the problem bedsit.
So how's things been last night?
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Same people say come into the flat and making noise. Someone was trying to get through the window yesterday.
Did you report it to the police?
Yeah, I ring them up this morning.
Well, that's good, because the more evidence we can get, it's making...
It's better.
We will get to the bottom of it for you all.
No problem.
Okay.
All right, cheers.
This landlord was on the verge of bankruptcy. We actually lost 5 tenants out of the 11 because of the issues that we was getting in the flat.
Landlord, JJ Properties, could you open the door, please?
Nobody here.
Hey?
Nobody here.
Paul, because of all the antisocial behaviour that's going around in this premises, there is a Section 8 notice. Cannot put up with this issue any longer. We have now took landlord's instructions to give you this notice to vacate the property. You are responsible for your tenancy. I was here the other day visiting someone else, and I got threatened by somebody who was wanting to come into here.
I was in hospital then.
But it's people that's revolving around here. If they're threatening me as an agent, they're going to be threatening other residents. So who's the dog, by the way?
What?
Who's the dog?
It's my friend.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be here. I suggest you contact your social workers. Are they coming back to see you now?
Yeah, they're coming tomorrow.
Because they actually refused to come in because they was told to F off because there was somebody was doing a drug deal in here.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I'm afraid it is fact. Okay, thank you.
There is a problem with drugs in Blackpool, but this should not affect the normal lives of normal law-abiding people. We was hoping that we could get him out without any further issues, not just for the property, but for the vicinity.
2 weeks ago, letting agent John Bartram issued problem tenant Paul with a notice to quit. Since then, there have been yet more complaints from other tenants, so he's returning to try and persuade Paul to move out.
He's having all his Dosser mates around there. They're pulling around there nearly every day because it's a hot spot for drugs.
I think that people like Paul that think we're social workers, drugs advisors, medical advisors, when all's said and done, all we are is a letting agent.
Keen to avoid a lengthy court process, John is hoping to convince Paul to leave voluntarily.
John from JJ Properties. Can I come in? I just want to talk to you. Who's everybody here?
We're not ones that take the next one.
Do you know why I've come today, Paul? Can I sit down? Hey? Go on then, I'll sit in your wheelchair. How's that sound? Well, Paul, I came down last week, whenever it was, and served you a Section 8. Now you shouldn't be here.
No. I was wanting to know flat out the way from this area. Idiots keep trying to break in and out, taking the piss out of me, taking advantage out of me. Well, enough of it.
Wouldn't a few quid help you to do that?
It would.
Basically, we thought the easiest option was to offer Paul a cash payment to find alternative accommodation on his own behalf.
I mean, what I'm trying to do here, Paul, is get a happy between yourself and landlord. I mean, I've got the authority from the landlord to offer £300 to ask you to go.
Is it 300 quid keys?
Give me the keys back, yeah.
Straight away?
Yeah.
Every time we visited Paul, there was always people in his home, and I don't think these people have his best interest at heart.
There's been people coming to the window now, poking their head through, trying to get in.
I don't do this, we keep trying to piss off.
It's causing distress, not for people just in the block, but for people in the area.
And I know I've got to leave here, you know what I mean? I've got to find somewhere.
Anyway, please keep in touch. Has anybody got a phone number? Because you haven't got one.
No, to go and get a phone today. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot there. I've got to get some food in. If
Yeah.
I was I could get something, I'm going to buy
Well, honestly, I ain't got another bloody tenner, Paul.
You are a tenner.
I've got, my pocket, I've got a £5. And that's my bleeding sandwich. We can look forward to having 300 quid ready for you on Friday to resolve the issue. Cheers, Paul.
Best advice for Paul would have been get yourself straight, get yourself help, and stop the sort of social activity that's surrounding your tenancy.
As more people gather outside Paul's window, neighbour Ibrahim comes down to confront them.
I work nights as a carer. You know, there's people coming in and out, banging, fighting constantly. It's unbearable.
Yeah? Go on, I understand what you're saying.
Slow down.
Yeah, man, sweet.
Slow the fuck down, bro.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's a
This one is double. It's got double gun on them. I don't want someone to be seeing sort of people around here, and around him is not good there for him, you see. So I'll be glad if the landlord can get rid of him and make sure he can get decent people in the flat.
Two weeks have passed since Jackie and John McHiggins served their tenant Katie notice to quit the flat she rents above their home. She owes them over £1,000 in missing rent, and her deadline to leave is up.
Katie, your notice has expired today. I don't know if you're aware of that. We want you out. Are you going to leave? Just the reaction I did expect, you know. She just wants to stay in there, basically.
The couple are considering offering her £1,000 to move out. But they find evidence online suggesting she has no intention to leave.
K-A-T-E-Y.
There she is.
She's advertising for a flatmate.
Single room to rent in Munsley, part furnished, very well equipped kitchen, lounge, diner, luxury shower room, must be okay with rather large house cat.
I can't believe the cheek of her. I think it's disgusting. I think I really cannot believe that she is doing this to us, John. She is advertising a room in the flat that she's not even paying rent for.
The couple decide to call Paul Champlina, who's been helping them with their problem tenant.
Paul, we've got an advertisement that she's put on Facebook for a room to rent. We've got that in...
Okay, fine. So have you got a copy of that?
Yeah, we've got it in black and white.
She's looking to sublet the property. So can you send that to me? Okay. The problem is I can engage her and I can speak to her. She can say one thing and do another thing, and that's my biggest worry. The risk that you have is you pay her the money, okay,
right,
and she doesn't leave, and then you've lost the money.
It was like being held prisoner. You know, it was like I couldn't escape. Not only was she up there, she was in here, in my head all the time. You know, and I couldn't get rid of her.
The McHiggins are already over £1,000 down in rent arrears. Now it seems they could be in for a costly legal battle to get her out.
I don't know how much more I can take of this. My nerves are in shreds as it is. I don't think I can take any more.
High house prices mean the amount of couples renting has increased by 60%. But if their relationship breaks down, the landlord can be left counting the cost.
Today we are going to Nuneaton Court and we are applying for a possession order.
3 years ago, landlord Sharon Hammersley rented a property to friend Tony and her husband. But when they split up, he moved out and Tony was left with sole responsibility for paying the rent.
And that's when it all started to go wrong. That's when the payments stopped and it just got nasty. I've been called a bitch, I've been called a cow. We've had fingers put up at us. She's changed all the locks.
Sharon's tenant, Tony, now owes the couple nearly £4,000 in back rent.
Apprehensive. Don't know if she's going to turn up. Just need to get this possession order and get our house back.
Right now, the defendant hasn't filed any defence and hasn't served any defence either. But there's nothing to say that the defendant's not going to rock up in court and now file a defence or a counterclaim.
I didn't think she'd turn up, but then as soon as I walked in, there she was, sitting there plain as day. And she looked at me and I looked at her.
After hearing the arguments, the judge delivers his verdict.
It went really well.
Absolutely brilliant. When they granted us the possession order, she got up and she wasn't happy. Absolutely over the moon. Over the moon. That's what we wanted and good result. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome.
It's been 2 weeks since Sharon won the possession order. Her tenant, Tony, should have moved out by today.
We were friends, you know, she'd come round here, we'd see her at the pub, but it just went sour. She's completely shut us off.
Sharon's situation is made worse by the fact that she and her former friend are neighbours.
The house is 4 doors up from our house, and it is very, very stressful. We bump into each other, And all you wanted to know was why. Why are you not paying us? Why are you not paying your rent? Nope. Still there. She's not moved a thing. She's not done nothing. She's just taking the piss. Not moved a thing.
But later that afternoon, as Sharon heads out, she's in for a shock.
She's just turned up. She's just turned up to the house with her mum. My adrenaline's pumping like hell now. Really, really pumping like hell now. I should knock on the door. I just know what's going to happen. They're both going to go at me.
Sharon Hammersley had been hoping her tenant Tony would obey a court order and move out. But she has shown no signs of leaving, and she's suddenly turned up at the property.
Right, let's go for it. Scott, can you come with me? She's back at the house. I need you to stand behind me, please.
What's she fucking doing there?
I don't know. She's come back.
Sharon's son Scott is a builder who helped renovate the house before it was rented.
Are you meant to be out?
No, I've been caught this morning. Oh.
What do you mean you've been caught this morning? You're supposed to be out, Tony. Yesterday. Yesterday you were supposed to be out. You have not, Tony.
You ain't gonna get no. You ain't gonna get nothing.
No. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. She's been to court today. My ass. Possession order ended yesterday. She's supposed to be out yesterday. She's now been to court and she's got another 3 weeks in the house. Bullshit. No, 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 no. No, no. No, this is not happening. We felt very helpless. It's making us poorly, making us feel bad. Sleepless nights. I just want it over and done with. I just want the house back. I want her gone. Oh, I just want it gone. I just want it gone. We thought we'd got her gone, but obviously we hadn't. She'd been to court. We didn't know anything about it, and our solicitor didn't know anything about it. And they'd managed to get another 3 weeks.
She's just tore my mum and dad apart. I'm getting upset through it. It's just a nightmare. Just a nightmare.
She's just a scutter. And I want her out, and I want her gone.
Tony's determined to stay in the property, and Sharon's hands are tied. She'll have to wait 3 weeks before she can try again to get her out.
Good afternoon, Ainsworth First Dates, Paul speaking. How can I help?
Letting agent Paul Ainsworth-Lord manages up to 800 properties in and around Darwin and Blackburn.
Right, lovely, jubbly. Speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Paul's been approached by a new landlord, asking him to take on an abandoned property, and he's on his way to check it out.
So he wants me to get it back into use for renting, wants me to get it priced up and see how much rent we can get for it and get it back in cash flow. It was just a random call from a potential new client. He said it's a bit of a mess. As a letting agent, you just never know what's behind the door.
Yeah.
Somebody's robbed the handle. So we can lock it, but we can't turn the latch, so I've got some bits in my car. I had no idea that there was any. I was about to discover what we discovered. None whatsoever. We've got some pliers. It's not perfect, but it's probably going to be enough to get this opened, I'm sure. Yep. Wow, a lot of posts here. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess, okay, isn't it? It stinks a bit. Yeah, let's see if these work. Oh, word. See what it's like upstairs. Oh dear, 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 dear. Oh dear. Oh my God. Friggin' hell. Oh, the other bedroom's just as bad. Fair old grow going on here. There's many streets you can walk on, Darwin, and you can smell the weed. This was quite a clever setup in some ways. You know, we found these huge filter systems that you can't actually smell anything. You know, this was a proper operation. It's extraordinary, isn't it? I'm guessing by the electrics, you know, by what I see here, the electrics is my main concern, to make sure it's safe. But yeah, we can turn this around pretty quick. It's just a bit of a mess. Cosmetic, skips and laths, liquor paint, a few bits of jobs, new carpet here and there if needed, lipstick and makeup. Bob's your uncle, ready to go. This street's never really been on my radar for being a bad street or anything, but being tucked away like it is, I suppose it doesn't surprise me too much. Well, I wasn't expecting that this afternoon.
And there she goes. Call the dog. She's all right, she don't go far. In, get in, girl.
You know anything about this?
Yeah, so it's been empty 12 months.
Ah, right.
And my neighbour there actually saw somebody drill through the lock, phoned the police and said, I think the house is being burgled. Well, it was being robbed. Two geezers in a white van came out with black bags full of drugs. The police turned up and they caught two people running away from the property. Then I had a police, yeah, because I'm a nosy cat, I hung out the window. I said, what's going on? What's all the noise? I mean, I knew they were growing. You can smell it through the wall. But listen, if you're taking it on, I need somebody decent. When I moved in here nearly 11 years ago, I had a paedophile living next door. And then we had the baby killers move in. They were put in there straight from jail.
Baby killers?
Yeah, they killed their baby. And then I've had a grow house.
Oh, right. Well, hopefully it'll be nobody like that. We are very strict. I feel sorry for her. That's not good, is it?
The landlord gave no clues about this property's troubled past. Before he takes it on, Paul needs to find out if there is anything else he might be hiding. Six weeks after first serving a notice to quit on the McHiggins tenant, eviction expert Paul Champlina has had a breakthrough.
I've been able to negotiate for the landlord to pay £1,000 and for the tenant to sign a legal document called a deed of surrender so that she gives up possession of the property and we avoid going to court.
Signing the deed of surrender means the tenant Katie has given up any legal right to remain in the property.
We're going to go now and check to see that John and Jackie have the keys and hopefully go in the property and confirm the tenant's left. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very stressed.
Very stressed. Well, you should be less stressed.
No, we're wondering what she's left us with upstairs.
Okay. Oh, these are steep stairs for you, aren't they?
Yeah.
So when Jackie, you haven't been up here for ages, have you?
Not since she moved in.
Smell. Yeah, it does.
God, you know I'm allergic to cats, by the way.
Looks like cats flew everywhere.
Oh. Oh my God, that's horrendous.
Oh, God.
That is horrendous.
Don't cry. She's done this to live. Nobody's lived like this.
Oh my God, this is horrendous.
God, I can't believe what she's done.
We need to open the windows, John.
Yes, please do, Paul.
This works.
What she's done. Look at it. Oh my God.
She couldn't have lived this way, surely.
I can't actually breathe in here.
No.
This is terrible. Look at the state of this.
Oh, John, look what she's done. The smell was horrendous. It was like nothing on this earth. It was like being down in a sewer 10 times that.
It's a lot.
No, look, she's left food in there.
Oh, God, the smell. Oh, John, I've got to get out of here.
Come on.
Oh.
Go downstairs and sit down. You never know what is behind the front door, and sometimes, you know, you could do a clean, you could do a professional clean and redo the carpets and a little lick of paint. This is just a job. It's a refurb job.
Paul, I really appreciate all the
No,
help.
pleasure.
Thank you for all your help.
Pleasure.
I really
Pleasure.
appreciate
You've
it.
gone out.
And then can I have a cuddle?
Yeah, you can.
All of you, come on. No, thank you. See
Thank
ya.
you, Paul.
Don't get stressed.
No,
okay?
Thank you. And I am so upset. I can't tell you how upset and heartbroken I am, because it was beautiful, that flat. And to see the way that she's left it now, it just breaks my heart.
I just hope they don't have to go through that again, because I don't think Jacqueline's nerves will be able to deal with that.
I am going into that flat and I'm going to cleanse her out of my life. Every last shred of her out of my life.
When the £1,000 payment to Katie was added to restoration work, legal fees and lost rent, the total cost to John and Jackie was nearly £10,000. Letting agent John Bartram has been trying to convince his problem tenant Paul to leave the property he manages.
Please do me a notice to say terminate my tenancy.
Although there is nothing to suggest that Paul is involved, with continuing complaints of drug dealing at the bedsit, John and his landlord have come up with a solution.
What he does with his money, that's a different issue, but I'm glad to have him out of our hair.
John has been authorised to pay him to move out.
Are we ready, Paul?
2 minutes, let us get out.
No problem. Right, thank you very much. Are you okay, pal? Is Paul in?
Yes.
We've agreed £300, is that correct, Paul? Right, okay. 350. Okay, 350. Right, what I've actually done here, if you want, I hereby terminate my tenancy at the above address with immediate effect. Yeah. Are you okay with that, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right, the next issue is, Paul, are we ready to go? Okay, thank you very much. There you go, £350 there, Paul. Paul, if anyone tries to get back in here now, including yourself, you are classed as trespassers and people can be arrested. Thank fuck he's gone. As we can see here on the table now, there's used sharps in a pot, heroin.
As an agent, we're trying to help as many people as we can. But from the outset, they know if they overstep the mark, we will terminate tenancies to bring a decent lifestyle back to other people that live in the same sort of areas.
Good news.
Yeah.
Gone.
Wow, that's great.
So if anybody comes back, nobody's allowed in. At least from the police, they are now trespassing.
That's great. Oh, I'm so happy. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
See you later.
I was so relieved. My 5-year-old son, he would have seen drugs, he would have seen fighting, he would have seen knives, you know, syringes, until they moved out. From then, it was great. It was great.
Two weeks ago, letting agent Paul Ainsworth-Lord viewed a potential rental property and discovered an abandoned weed farm. On hearing the news, the owner of the property asked Paul if he could clear and renovate the house.
After I'd given the landlord the price of the job, he was quick to reveal that he didn't actually have the funds available to pay for the works. So we hit sort of a brick wall then. But there was this little thing, this little alarm bell ringing in the back of my mind. There was just something that seemed a bit odd. Now, as an agent, you've got to really be sharp and on the ball, because you know, your due diligence begins with poking your nose in, and you never know what's round the corner. So you get onto the old Google like you do. It says here, 4 men and women appear in court accused of laundering 19 million quid. Fucking hell.
Paul has discovered an online article from a local London newspaper that would appear to directly involve his landlord.
Oh my God, as if. 19 million quid?
From the sale of fake prescription drugs bought in Europe. In Germany, Austria and France. Friggin' hell. You don't come across that every day, do you? Multi-million pounds worth of fake drugs being sold, and the anti-money laundering people have sort of got a hold of these people who claim to be the landlord for that property. And they'll not pass the AML checks, the money laundering checks, because any new clients we get, they've got to pass the AML checks. Yeah, it's not one for us, this.
We'll leave that one, definitely. You need to ring him up and tell him what you've just established, Paul.
I don't think I was like to do that, but...
Well, you can either say yeah or no.
You know, this guy was potentially going to be going down for a good stint if they were found guilty.
While these are just allegations, Paul understandably is nervous.
I might have a slight problem here, and I just need to speak to you just to shed some light on things. When I've Googled all sorts of stuff about laundering this 19 million quid or something, it's a lot of money, isn't it? Got cut off. He might have fainted with the shock. You know, when I called the landlord, I said to him, oh, what's all this I've found on the internet? You know, what are these articles and what's this court listing stuff? And he said, oh, I'm glad you've called me about it. It's just one big misunderstanding that we've been roped into. There's nothing to do with us.
Paul has gleaned the landlord is yet to face trial and denies all charges.
I just want to run a good letting agency. I don't want a starring role in The Sopranos.
Sharon Hammersley has been fighting to evict her tenant Tony from the house she's been renting just 4 doors from Sharon's home. She's just had word that her tenant has finally left, but wants to be sure.
Very apprehensive about going in. Bit nervous, to say the least. Oh dear God. Absolute filth. Oh my God. The dirt was just, it was just everywhere. It was just filth, absolute filth. Oh God. Oh my Lord. She ought to be ashamed of herself. I even saw a hoover in the corner of the room. I don't know what that was for. I think it was just annoyment. She's packed everything up that she wants to take and she's just left all this for us to dump. So this is all our problem. Oh, let's have a look upstairs. They was just a very nice couple. But every tenant can turn into a bad tenant. And that is the problem. Starts off good, and then goes sour. The best thing about it is, she's gone. She's gone. Good riddance. Change the locks, and then we can start getting rid of all this. Most definitely, we will not be renting again. I'd never do it again. I'd never go down that road again.
Sharon is now renovating her property in order to sell it on. She's taking her ex-tenant Tony to court to try and recover the £3,850 owed in rent arrears.
Oh, my neck.
Next time, a house inspection uncovers an active crime scene.
Hang on a minute, lad. Who are you? Who are you?
Why have you gone that way?
I've got a situation. I need some police assistance.
Have you decided when you're going to pay my arrears?
A desperate landlord risks everything for his rent.
And he said, I'm going to get some people around your house. You'll see what happens.
Isn't it illegal that you don't pay your rent?
And behind closed doors,
oh my God,
a reclusive tenant hides a shocking reality.
Carnage, utter carnage.